So friends, next class is DC motor control using power converters. So the first topic is single phase fully controlled rectifier. Control of separately excited DC motor, which is separately excited DC motor. This is the topic. So let us discuss some point introduction. What do you mean by separately excited DC motor? You know that a motor has an armature winding, correct, and a field winding. So this is called armature and this is called field. And you apply a voltage here, let us call Vs. Armature current flows and E is equal to Vs minus IaRs or IaRa. So a back EMF is produced. At the same time, we need a flux also. This flux can be produced by applying a DC voltage from separate source. That's why the name is separately excited DC motor. This is separate source we are exciting and producing the field. We are not using the voltage of this part to produce the field, but this voltage is only used for producing the back EMF. Such a motor is called separately excited DC motor. Next, let us go for a equivalent circuit of a DC motor. Equivalent circuit of a DC motor, there is always an armature resistance and some inductance, because it's armature coil, inductance will also be there, and a back EMF E. This is called motor. This is the corresponding load equivalent of a motor. Now let me draw the circuit of a fully controlled rectifier. What do you mean by fully controlled rectifier? Full wave rectifier with full control. That means all the diodes used in the bridge rectifier are controlled. So you know that in a bridge rectifier 4 diodes are there. So they are replaced by 4 thyristors. So the circuit diagram, one thyristor, another thyristor, another thyristor, another thyristor. I'll mark these names for this. So this I'll call it as T1, this I'll call it as T2, T3, T4, and apply AC voltage. Here I apply AC voltage one terminal and another terminal I am applying here. Here I will apply. Okay. Now I will take a load. What type of load it is? Motor load. So motor is what? RA, LA, E. RA. This is LA. Back EMF E. And here is the armature voltage VA, and the current flows in this direction as IA. So this is the circuit of a fully controlled rectifier of motor. So let us see the waveform. So you know that if I fire T1 and T3, what will happen? You see, from the positive cycle, the current flows through the motor, current comes back, flows through this path and comes back to the source. So current flows if I am able to switch on T1 and T3 simultaneously. So here the operation will be, whenever I want to switch on, I will switch on T1 and T3 simultaneously, and later part, in the next cycle, in the reverse cycle, in the negative cycle, T2 and T4 has to be fired simultaneously. And because of the inductance present here, there are two modes of conduction. One is discontinuous mode, another is continuous mode. Let us first see the case of a discontinuous mode. Let us see how it works. So assume that this is omega t, means theta. Okay. So I will assume a source voltage will be sinusoidal, AC. Okay. So you know this is 0, pi, 2 pi. Now for our easiness, I will draw the opposite of this also. This is a Vs. Now I will draw minus Vs. Minus Vs means, for easiness of analysis, minus Vs means opposite of this. Okay, this is minus Vs. Now what I will do is, you know, it is a not diode, it is a thyristor. So I have to fire it. Assume that I am firing at an omega t equal to alpha. So what all to be fired? T1 and T3 to be fired. Then T2 and T4 should be fired at what place? Tell me. It should be at next cycle, pi plus alpha. There I have to fire T2 and T4. Okay. Now you know that at pi T1, T3 are fired. So what will happen? We got a continuous path. Last I discussed, we got a continuous path so that motor current flows through T1 and T3. Those three diodes will be there. Starting from where? Alpha. Okay? Alpha. Clear? And at this point of time, till this alpha you forget, at this point of time alpha, since current flows, your VA will be what? Will starts following VS. So your waveform will be, after alpha, your VA will be VS itself. Like this it goes. Same. Okay. And the current flows also. Now this current, you know, in RL circuit, so current will lag by some amount. So maximum will be after some time. And it will become 0. Say it will become 0 after pi. Sure. Correctly you have to listen. This is the place where we have pi. So I will correctly once again discuss with you. So this current will become 0 surely after pi. That means at beta. At beta. So the current becomes 0 means what? VA is, what is that equation? VA is E plus IRA. So IA is 0 means at that point of time, what will happen? Your V will become E. So your V will become E, something lesser than this. So I will mark this as E. Then there it will remain, correct. And when IA becomes 0, what it means? Your T1 and T3 got off. T1 and T3 got off. Then at pi plus alpha, I will turn on the remaining two, T2 and T4. So that again, VI is equal to VS. Correct. So here also I will draw that. Here also you will have a some interval, and remember, by this time this is beta, your voltage was like this, because T1 and T3 were on till beta. So I will complete this cycle also. E. I hope you understood. I have drawn this. So I will complete the current. So up to pi plus alpha 0. Then again, what happens? It starts conducting and becomes 0 after 2 pi, after some time. I hope you understood. This is how to draw for continuous conduction mode. Discontinuous conduction mode. So here let us mark. So you know that at alpha, T1, T3 on till when? Beta. So here T1, T3 will be on. Then beta to pi plus alpha, see there is a discontinuity. Nothing is on, nothing is on. After that, T2 plus alpha, T2 and T4 will be on. And here also when you see this part, so beta to pi plus alpha, nothing is on. Similarly here alpha, T1 and T3 gets on, but before this nothing is on. Nothing is on. Where to where? That beta to alpha. Till alpha reaches, nothing will be on. And this, you know that before this, up to beta, T2, T4 will be on. So this is the how to mark discontinuous conduction mode. Now let us go for continuous conduction mode. Continuous. So in a continuous conduction mode, so I will draw Vs. And minus Vs also. Okay. So here 0 up to alpha, firing does not happen. Alpha, it starts conducting. up to some value, correct, and it goes, okay, it goes, so here it is pi, and at pi plus alpha until 0, this is the current will not become 0 here, so the current will be lagging and never becomes a 0. That's why continuous conduction mode, like this it goes. So this output, when alpha it starts, from alpha the output will be like this, okay. So IA is not getting this one, and at a value, correct, pi minus alpha, what will happen? Next set of diode will conduct. Clear? Like this it goes. So this also like this. So till alpha to pi plus alpha, T1, T3 conducts. Then pi plus alpha, T4 conducts. This is how a continuous conduction mode is. So remember the point, the diode T1 and T3 will not get off when you reach pi. It will continue for some more time. For what reason? Because of the inductance there. You have studied this in power electronics. Now its derivation we will discuss in the next class.